go out with a guy, a high status male, she can have sex with him, which gives her the impression that's her weight class for a relationship, but he's not interested in a relationship. And then she basically decides the bottom 90 are no longer in her weight class. And you can't tell a woman to lower her expectations. But the reality is, and what the data I've seen on dating apps is that all of the women want the same few guys and they shut out the rest.
Yeah. Okay. So there's a few things I'll respond to there. So one, going back to the income graph, I want to just call out that yes, right now in a few urban markets, women are making more than men. So women in DC and New York under 30 are making more than men on average, but in most situations, men are still making more than women, but we're talking about a projection. Going back to the dating research. So yes, it's exactly as you described. What we have right now is there's fewer and fewer men that are hypergamous mates for women. So if there's a much smaller pool of guys, then what you have is you have a bunch of women competing for the same men, and then a bunch of guys get ignored. But what I also see is that those top guys are having a hard time deciding. So I feel like in my coaching practice as a dating coach, I'm working with a lot of women who say, what do I do? I've changed my profile the way you said I should. I took your class, but I still feel like there's just not enough great guys. And then I work with these CEO men who are having such a hard time choosing. And so I think we really have this exacerbated problem where so many women are competing for the same men, and then a bunch of guys are getting ignored. And then what ends up happening is, where do those guys go? And they go online. That's what you see. Or they go to Reddit. They're really going to some of these red-pilled communities. And so what you're seeing now is just men really opting out of society. So when you go back to that stat, 1 in 7 young men in the UK is NEET, not an employment, education, or training. They have just opted out.
So when I heard that, the first thing I thought is, I have a clip where I literally say those exact same words, and I thought to myself, is Scott Galloway watching my show? Because that's exactly how I said it. It's like, because a woman to 10, she thinks that she can date a 9.
Yeah, but when he says it, he's not radicalizing incels to go out and murder people.
The reason why that was so powerful to me is because Scott Galloway probably disagrees with us on almost everything else and still came to this conclusion that I've been saying before, while these other people keep telling us that there is no crisis in dating. I'm going to listen to Professor Galloway, and I'm going to listen to Richard Reeves. I'm going to listen to those people. I'm going to listen to Dr. Buss. I'm going to listen to William Costello. I'm going to listen to those guys, rather than I'm going to listen to people trying to tell me that that's not what's going on.
Do you think it pushes the other guys, though, to better themselves and kind of look at
some of them, if they feel like they have a chance? But if they listen to Wheat Waffles or any of these other black pillars, they're being told they have no chance. If you're not physically good looking or reach a certain standpoint, you should just give up or just move to another country.
It's self-defeating. It's nihilism.
Now, is that conditioning?
No, it's his ability to provide.
What do you mean conditioning? What does that mean?
Are women conditioned to be that way?
No, what my point is, if it's in every society, if we're talking about the Yanomamo tribe in Venezuela, and we're talking about people in Iceland, those two groups of people have nothing. You can't have conditioning. You understand? If we're talking about an ancestral tribe that has no magazines, radio, or television, then it has to be genetic. There are 3 massive dimorphic differences between men and women. The biggest one of all is men's desire for sexual variety. Is like an average man puts him in the top 1% of women. The wild.
So, before they go on, I gotta say something, right? So we have seen that every single year, women's standards are going higher. They're not coming down. They're not understanding that, hey, listen, we're asking too much of men. No, their standards are just going higher. Just not too long ago in 2024, women started saying 6 figures isn't enough anymore. You guys have watched my videos going through women talking about they want a man making $250,000, making $500,000, making $1 million. It used to be $100,000, so 6 figures, 100K, right? But now they are saying 100K isn't enough anymore. They used to say they want a man who's 6 feet, but now they're saying a man who's 6 feet is not even tall enough. They used to say they want a man with a stable career, stable job. Some of you even watched a video of, I reacted to Lapeef, and the women are saying men with regular jobs are not good enough. They want you to have your own business. They want you to be a CEO. They want you to be a boss. So, unless a man is dumb, unless a man is crazy, unless a man doesn't understand logic, if you are trying to win a prize, but every single year the rules change and the rules are not changing in your favor, the rules are making it harder and harder, you're going to be a fool if you keep trying. Especially if you know that, you know what, I have someone who's asking me to make $500,000, but I'm comfortable making just 80K for myself. Why should I kill myself trying to make $500,000 when I know even if I get $500,000, she can still leave me? I mean, hell, they left Jeff Bezos. Hell, what's his name? Tom Brady wasn't good enough. So what makes you think you and your $500,000 that because now God blessed you with a height, you're 6'5", and God blessed you with $500,000 that you're good enough? What makes you think you're so special that because you have the attributes they claim they want, that she won't leave you?
This porn star, you know, still like her level for sexual variety is about the same as a median man, and that's evolution. If every society is like that, is that culture? Is that patriarchy?
Genetics.
Oh,
Genetics.
it's genetics, and that,
Yes.
guys, thank you. We don't even have to do the show anymore. The whole point of the show is that this idea for like westernized beauty standards or gender roles, this idea that it's created through
Social construction.
patriarchy or social construction is utter and complete nonsense. And there is data that clearly shows this. And if there are gender roles, please don't take this the wrong way, but if there are gender roles, and there are obviously gender roles between men and women, they're not enforced by men. We don't give a fuck. They're enforced by women because it's men competing with other men to impress women. Again, if women have a problem with the things that create a patriarchy, which is assertion, aggression, ambition, then why is it that women continue to give those men who are most assertive, most aggressive, and most ambitious the most sex and the most children? If women
Facts. Until women stop making babies with gangsters, until women stop requiring 6 figures, until women stop requiring guys who are like macho and masculine and they choose the sassy dudes. Because remember, women don't only call you sassy if you don't want to spend money on them. They only call you sassy as a man and gay if you don't listen to their standards or if you have your own standards as a man. That's when they call you sassy. But they can have all the gay best friends, but for some reason they never married those gay best friends. So that should tell you they still choose the masculine guys. So until women start doing the opposite of everything they claim they want in a man and choosing the same kind of archetype of a guy, until then, men are trying to compete for the same things. Now, some guys, if you're a smart guy, you're probably not going to keep trying to fight hard to make $500,000. And some guys are even going for knee surgery to become taller to impress women. You're going to go get knee surgery, mess up your legs, get taller than Boogie, who's 5'8". You become 6'5", and she's still going to leave you or even cheat on you on the side with Boogie, who's 5'8". Like, so what's the point?
did not want those factors, they'd stop sleeping with those men, but they don't stop sleeping with those men. And so because of that, if I'm a man and I'm objectively looking at the world and I see the nice guy who listens to Justin Baldoni and he's like, he expresses his feelings to women, and then I see this other guy over here who's like f***ing ripped, rich, and dangerous, and he runs his own company and he like leads from the front, and this guy gets the hotter girl, eventually over time, societally and genetically, I'm going to be more ambitious, assertive, and aggressive because those are the men who are rewarded with sex. Got it? That's it. Sorry, I don't want to go into a diatribe here, but my whole point is when we talk about this idea of cultural norms versus genetics, we don't give genetics anywhere near as much credit as we need to. I know a lot of women, I have a lot of women who are friends, and I've never met a single one who can bench press more than me. Not one. There's a reason, because evolutionarily, as men, our upper body strength was a survival mechanism for us, and for women being better caretakers of children and women gestating children 100% of the time. Sorry, we just got canceled.
Yeah.
Sorry. It's women who gestate children. Sorry, I got in trouble there. When that happens, genetically, we can understand these things come from our ancestry. It doesn't mean it's wrong or right. If one of you guys told me, like with Sarah, I don't sit there and say, Sarah, you make more money than your husband. How dare you? I don't care. I'm an oncologist who studies cancer. I'm not sitting, like, I don't condone cancer. I'm not telling you that you're wrong. And whenever I meet a guy who's like, yeah, I started dating this female star and we've been together for 10 years and my relationship worked out, I'm be like, hey man, good job, bro. You broke it, good job for you. Like, that worked out. You cracked the code. Like, good job, man. We don't have a problem. We don't even have an opinion about it. We're just here trying to describe the playing field that everybody is competing on.
The problem is guys don't know how to portray themselves on social media. So even if you level up, you get the money, you get ripped. Most guys don't know how to portray that on social media in a
because they're
effective way.
incongruent.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah, but this again goes to blaming the man. You know, it's like, so you're telling me the guy has got, he finally was blessed by God to make $500,000. Maybe he was lucky enough that God blessed him with height. So let's say he's 6'2", right? Maybe he has been hitting the gym, so he's a muscular type of guy. He's not like fat or obese, right? And you're telling me now I'm gonna get disqualified by a woman because my Instagram, I'm holding a dog in my Instagram and I'm taking a walk in the park and I took a photo of me fishing, and you're saying even when I have all these other accolades that women want in men, so now I'm gonna be disqualified because I like to fish and I posted the photo on Instagram? You see, so this is where men are like, okay, I can't keep playing this losing game. This is why men are saying, no, I cannot. So some guys are like, fuck this dating. I'm done dating. Let me just focus on myself, go to the gym, watch my movies, eat all the food I want, make my money, save my money for retirement, and to pay for my nurse who will be taking care of me when I'm old. Some guys are like, I'm going to get on the plane, go to Asia, go to Brazil, and find me a good woman. What do you guys think? Shout out to Moa Podcast, link down below.